What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and listen, I'm going to be sure to make a modern house. This is the 87th installment of Modern House, and yeah, this one's definitely on the larger side of the houses. I guess you could consider it a mansion if you wanted to. I don't know if it's big enough to be a mansion, though. But, yeah, I guess it depends on what your general, like, size thoughts are. I don't know. Kind of objective, kind of not. I don't really know. But, yeah, that being said, that is all I have to say. So, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so these space are going to be, this is a 37 by 28, and that's a lot of green, I just realized. And the materials you're be needing to start off are light gray concrete. I haven't used white concrete on a modern house in a while, I just realized, because smooth quartz is superior. Black stained glass blocks, I mean it is. You could use blue, but I think that this is normally the opposite of what I say, but I think the less contrast looks better in this case. Because it's a lot of, like, duller colors, and the blue just, I feel like, will stand out too much. I tested it minorly. I didn't, like, I took a small sample of it. I didn't try it on the entire build, so if you want to go for it, I'd say sure. I don't think it'll look bad. I just think that the black looks better because it doesn't contrast, which is, again, weird, because you don't want it to contrast too much. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's keep getting materials. Smooth quartz blocks. Acacia doors, you need, I think, 3 of them. In case that was important to you for whatever reason. Gray concrete. Pillar quartz blocks. Tripwire hook. We're missing something obvious, I think. I don't know. I know we need deep slate tile slabs. And deep slate tile blocks. I think you need something else, but I can't think of it. Huh. That's gonna drive me insane. Black stained glass panes, that's what it is. Okay. We don't need those that much, though, so I would not worry about grabbing them, but I think that's the only other thing you need. So, starting from the left-hand corner of your 37 by 28 grid cough cough, if you made it, you want to count back by 4 and right by 1, and you want to place a light gray concrete. You then want to bring it right by 1 and bring either of those light gray concretes back by 1 each. Pretty much every single light gray concrete that is placed is gonna end up being in a 2x2 square. There are, I think, like 2 exceptions or something. There's like a little, like you can kind of see over there. There's an exception, which doesn't have to be an exception necessarily. And then there, that is also an exception. Anyways, what you want to do is you want to bring that back right-hand corner of that light gray concrete back with 8 black stained glass panes, light gray concrete. 8 black stained glass panes, 2 light gray concrete. Bring those 3 light gray concrete, these 3 backward ones, left by 1 each. Oopsies, that's not right. There we go. Just like that. So you're going to want to bring the inner corner of the 2 squares right with 8 black stained glass panes. So from this front one, you want to take the back right-hand corner of this front 2x2 of light gray concrete, bring it right with 8 black stained glass blocks. And then 2 light gray concrete, and the back left, this left back square, you want to bring the front right-hand corner right with 8 black stained glass blocks, and then 2 light gray concretes. Bring those 2 lines of light gray concrete towards the outside by 1 each. So it should give you this. You then want to copy that row 3 more times. Or not the row, the C shit. It does look like a C. It looks like a C that someone's like mounting to the floor or something. I don't know. My analogies or my comparisons are always really weird. Which I guess is an interesting... Maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. Also, this might be one of my favorite modern houses now. If not my favorite. And you could pass it as a mansion, I guess, if you wanted to. It's smaller than it feels, though. Or, it's bigger than it feels. No, it is smaller than it feels. It feels, like, large. I don't know. But it's not, like, super big. I mean, it's a solid size, and don't forget this back section like I did. I mean, I was kind of, like, just going up to see the grid, but that's not important. But I do really like this one. I'm happy with the way it turned out. I don't know why because I looked up an image like a while back and I thought that image was different than what it actually was, and that's why I made this house. Because I looked back at the image and was like, oh, that's actually not that good of a house. I started with it, and then I was like, no, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, and I switched to this. Which I don't normally do that. That was a weird way for this to come up, but I'm happy with it. You can bring each light gray concrete up with an additional light gray concrete. So they should all be one taller than the black stained glass for now. Some of them will go up more than that, some will go up still more than that. You don't want to bring each black stained glass block up with a gray concrete and then bring that gray concrete out by a row. So it should give you this. It kind of looks like an eyebrow or a unibrow or something. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, this looks like, I don't know. But yeah, and then it's basically just going to give you flat lines on all sides, which isn't necessarily ideal, but we'll figure it out in a sec here. That's what it should look like from the overhead. I actually really like the way that looks. It looks kind of interesting. It looks like an alarm clock. If an alarm clock tried to type the letter C. You then want to bring the gray concrete out with an additional row. And when you do that, you want to wrap it all the way around the light gray concrete. Don't overhang it on the right side at all, though. So it should look like this now. And then if you go down to ground level, it should look like this. You then want to bring each light gray concrete up with an additional 2 light gray concrete. I wasn't sure, actually I could have just figured out the number. But I wasn't planning on doing it this way, which is why I said 1 earlier, so I'm sorry about that. But I guess it kind of does make it a little bit different. I don't really know. But you should have this. I don't know why, but this reminded me of my car dealership. I need to make a new one, because that one was kind of bad, actually. Okay, so the way this next section works out is going to be a little bit weird, but what you want to do is you want to bring these 2, like, right pillars up with 2 light gray concretes each. So it's just these 2 pillars, and then that is going to give you this shape. And you want to bring the far right row of those individual pillars up with an additional row. So it should give you this, which looks a little weird, but it's okay, I think. And then what you want to do is... So, we're not going to fill in this section just... Actually, you can't... Okay. We're going to fill in part of it, but not all of it, just because I don't know. That's what I want to do. So, the left side here, where you have the 1 row of light gray concrete in between, or the 2x1, I guess, whatever you want to call it. You want to take the inner row of gray concrete again, and you want to bring it up with 2 rows of smooth quartz blocks. Only on the left side. The front and the back want to stay empty for now. You could do smooth quartz there, but it's up to you. Also, if you want this to be windows, you can change it to black stained glass blocks. The black stained glass and the smooth quartz blocks, for the most part, are interchangeable. Like, if you wanted this section to not be a window, for example, you can just change it to smooth quartz. That is what I would recommend doing. And I wouldn't obviously have... You could have every single section as glass if you wanted, but I wouldn't advise doing that. I just don't think that would be the greatest idea. But, you can. Nothing saying that it's, like, not allowed at all or whatever. I'm just suggesting. So, we're gonna... Okay. You want to bring the top row of smooth quartz blocks out with a row of upside down deep slate tiles. I was gonna do this a different way, but I realized that this is a lot easier. And then you can bring every single block on this left side out with an additional upside down deep slate tile. And overhang those tiles off the front and the back by 1, and then bring them right by 1. So it should give you this, which kind of looks a little weird, but... I mean, that's kind of expected. You don't want to bring each upside down deep slate tile or anything, I'm getting texted and DM'd on Discord at the exact same time. That's fun. But you want to bring each deep slate tile up with each upside down deep slate tile up with an additional deep slate tile, and then make sure that this right row is just a flat row. So some light gray concrete, like it's like 5 or something. I don't know. I can't really count. Then you want to bring the top row of slabs right with 2 rows of deep slate tiles. And then bring the front 2 and back 2 deep slate tile blocks at the right side. That was 2 rows, right? Yeah. Right with 2 upside down deep slate tiles, and bring upside down deep slate tile slabs, and bring each of those upside down slabs up with a normal slab. And then connect the normal slabs together. I know that's a dumb way to do it. but, yeah. And then bring that row of slabs right with 2 rows of deep slate tile blocks. If you know how to do this from now on, then feel free. And front 2 and back 2 deep slate tile blocks on the either side. You want to bring right with 2 upside down deep slate tile slabs. Bring each upside down slab up with a normal slab. Connect the normal slabs together. Ah, frick. Then 2 rows of deep slate tiles to the right of that. Yes. And then upside down deep slate tile slab at the front and back, and then place a row of slabs going all the way across on top of that. And that should give you this. It doesn't want to overhang because there's a section right there that's going to essentially, the roof would like run in, or is running into, I guess. But yeah, you should have this. And on that, like, inner row of gray concrete, you want to just place black stained glass blocks moving up until you touch deep slate blocks or slab. Deep slate tile blocks or slabs, not just deep slate. And then that's what that should look like. You can, it's hard to see the, that is the only thing with the black stained glass, is that when you're building with it in this type of a house, it's kind of hard to, like, play with, if you know what I mean. Like, that's not the right terminology, if that's probably not a word. But it sounds like it's a word. But, like, it's hard to, like, kind of see how it looks. Because once you get the lights inside and everything, it's going to be better if you're doing the inside. Oh, yeah, also, ceiling stuff for this is weird. I was going to look at that and I forgot, I'm sorry. But, I can tell you right now from looking at this image of it is that you have some overlapping things. So, like, if you can see this is a block lower, and then you're going to have some ceiling troubles with that. So, I mean, you could just make it, like, 1 story and have it really tall, but remember that one modern house that I did an interior for? You could do something like that. I think that is best. Or you could even remove some window sections. That, I think, would help. Because then that makes your ceiling be able to move more, so you could have it lower or higher or wherever it needs to be. Or just, I don't know. There's definitely ways around it. But I'm not. Upside down slabs. That's probably a smarter way. Anyways, moving on, what you want to do is at the front. We're going to go now just around the front. And then back and then left. And then that'll be that done. So from this bottom right hand corner of the light gray concrete, you want to move 4 diagonally to the right with a smooth quartz block. Bring it forward by 2. And take the center block of that smooth quartz. I forgot how to English. Hang on. Take the center block of that smooth quartz. Bring it right with a black stained glass block. Acacia door. Black stained glass block. And then a smooth quartz block. Bring the smooth quartz forward by 1. And bring every single smooth quartz up by, I think, 11. Yeah. So it should be a little bit taller than the deep slate tile roof. Also at the wait, hang on, what was I? Okay, at the right side you have that really flat roof. If you want to turn it into a slanted roof, you can. I wouldn't just make it flat slanted because you're gonna have some weird issues if you do that. What I was going to do was I was gonna add another little section on top, or I mean you could add like a slanted section above that's sorta kinda small. I don't know. You can play with it if you want, but I originally had like it like this. Here, let me actually show you on this. So like here and then black stained glass and then there. I tried to combine glass and block. All right, and then gray concrete above like that. I had it like that except going all the way across. I don't really know if I like it or not. I'm gonna be honest. But that's not important right now, so we'll worry about that later. But you want to bring each black stained glass block up with 3 black glass and then bring the door up with 2 black glass. Then bring the top row of black glass up with a row of gray concrete, and then bring that row of gray concrete up with 7 rows of black stained glass blocks. Bring the row of gray concrete out by 1. You're going to notice the gray concrete for the most part lines up at between the first and second floor. There's a little exception on the right side. where it actually does line up though with the other section that's there. It's weird to explain. You'll see. Then what you want to do is you want to place a row of gray concrete on top of your smooth quartz, and then also bring it on top of the black glass. Extend it forward by 1 above the black glass, and then extend it out on every single side by 1. That's gonna give you this. I'm just gonna make it a little like I'm gonna make it a rectangle, just because. Although it doesn't matter if you do or not, because we'll worry about it later. But yeah, you should have this. I wasn't sure at this point. I had this much done. I wasn't sure I liked it. Beyond, although I didn't actually have anything going back on the left. I just had the facade. I was like, I don't know how I like this, but it worked out fine. You then want to bring the bottom back smooth quartz block back diagonally to the right with a light gray concrete. Bring it right by 1 and bring either light gray concrete back by 1. Then bring the back right-hand corner of light gray concrete right with 6 black stained glass blocks. Sorry, I died. And then 2 light gray concrete. Bring either light gray concrete forward by 1. I'm pluralizing concrete and sometimes I'm not. Concretes isn't grammatically I don't know. I don't pay attention. You don't want to copy that little row or section or thing 3 more times. Which at some point we'll be doing 2 instead for a little bit, but yeah, it's not important right now. Nor will it be important for a while. Okay, I'm just thinking. You can get rid of either your deep slate tiles or your deep slate tile blocks. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to get rid of the blocks in case, because I don't know if we actually need this slab. I'm 99.8% sure that we won't. And you want to get out black stained glass panes. You then want to place a little, rectangle of gray concrete on top of this. So basically just have it placed on top of each block and then connect it across on top of the black glass. So it should look like this. I know that's a dumb explanation. You then want to you want to extend it out by an additional row on the front and the right side, or a little bit on the right side at least, with the 3. And you're going to go back by more, but I don't really pay attention. That's not, whatever. You then want to bring the gray concrete back with, what is that number? 2 rows of gray concrete. You would have expected it to be a big number with the way I was struggling with it, but guess not. Then along the front row of gray concrete, you want to place a row of black stained glass panes and bring it back on the right side by 3, and then place a gray concrete. This gray concrete is kind of sort of important. Now, let me point this out. I have something like this on the back and the front. I stopped it before the window on the front, but I went through the window on the back. I didn't realize I did that until just now. So, I mean, you could extend it back the 1 more and just be like, oh well. But I didn't want to because of the black stained glass panes. But yeah, then what you want to do is you want to bring this gray concrete here back diagonally to the left by 1 with a light gray concrete, and then bring it left by 1. Bring either one of those back by 1 each, and then up by 2 each. You can kind of see where this is going. This is a lot of pillars, but I actually kind of really like the look of it. The pillars, it's different. You then want to bring every single gray concrete left of this pillar back with 2 additional gray concretes. Yeah, there's the plural again. Then what you want to do is hello, please, knock knock. I want to tell a knock knock joke. You then want to bring the back light gray concrete left here with 2 black stained glass blocks, 2 acacia doors, 2 black stained glass blocks, and then 2 light gray concrete. Bring either light gray concrete forward by 1 and then up by 2. So it should look like this. Bring each black stained glass block up by 2 and then bring each door up with 1 black glass. Okay, I was going to bring the smooth quartz back, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, because we're just going to have to do it later, we're just going to do it again later, but less, so I'm just going to do it all at once, whatever. It doesn't affect any measurements or anything, or it shouldn't. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I can figure it out, really easily. Actually, I do know it, never mind. Because I figured it out. Anyways, then what you want to do is okay, so come to the right pillar. This really is going to be weird. We're going to worry about the roof later because we have to just do it for a big section. But this right pillar here, you want to take the back block and you want to bring it back with a light gray concrete. Actually, you can bring the entire column back by one. So it should look like this. I actually kind of like that look more. I don't know why. You then want to bring the bottom block of that right with 5 sideways pillar quartz blocks. And then 2 light gray concrete. Bring either light gray concrete forward and backward by 1 each. That's important. So it's a 2x3. Again, we have 2x3. Actually, no, I didn't. Whatever. You then want to copy that row 2 more times. So the pillar quartz, sideways pillar quartz blocks, and then the light gray concrete. Place a tripwire hook in the bottom center, and then place a gray concrete on top of each block. Bottom center of the pillar quartz, sorry, and then place a gray concrete on top of each block. Take the 2 gray concretes that are on these front light gray concretes and just extend them left, and then extend the whole row forward and right by 1 again. You then can bring also this back row where it kind of overhangs a little bit. You can just bring that left. That'll just be important because of numbers. And then you want to bring that entire row of gray concrete. Never mind, don't do that. You want to, okay. Actually, you can. Yeah, bring the wait, hang on. Actually, before we do, I want to check how that looks, because I forgot. Okay, so don't. You want to bring every single gray concrete except for the right 2, or maybe 1 if you want to do that, back with 2 gray concrete. So it's just these left 6 or whatever. Just like that. There's going to be this light gray concrete pillar here. You can see where it is in the grid. And that's not going to be... the gray concrete's not going to wrap around that one. You then want to... Okay, so you have the little, like, short pillar of light gray concrete here. You want to bring this right row down by 1. And then you want to bring each of these 4 light gray concretes right with... What is the number? I don't know the number. I can't read it. Never mind, I can. 6 black stained glass blocks. And you want to do that again with all 4 of those back light gray concretes there. You then want to bring each black stained glass block right with 2 light gray concretes. Bring each light gray concrete forward by 1. And then connect them all the way down to the ground. Just like that. So you can kind of see where that shape's starting to come in. The right side, actually, I don't know which... I really do. The right side's, like, interesting, though. This build in general is interesting, to be honest. Never said in a good way, though. Yeah. Now, you want to bring the inner row of light gray concrete here. This bottom block, you can see this bottom corner that I'm highlighting. You want to bring this back with 10 smooth quartz blocks. And then 2 light gray concrete, and bring either light gray concrete right by 1. Copy that row 2 more times. And then you want to bring each light gray concrete up with 5 light gray concrete. So it should look like this. Again, as I was saying earlier, if you want to interchange the smooth quartz and the black stained glass blocks, you can. Except for on that front section, and there's going to be another section like it at the back. Where, same thing. You then want to bring the smooth quartz up with 1 row of gray concrete, top row of smooth quartz, and then 4 rows of black stained glass blocks. I'm honestly surprised I haven't had much troubles with this. I had one little issue, which we don't talk about because that got cut out, obviously. That's definitely not what that cut was earlier, which was definitely noticeable. You then want to bring the row of gray concrete right by an additional row. Again, we're going to worry about the roof later for this entire section, because it's literally the entire right side of the build has the same roof. It's a quite large roof, which is what I was saying earlier about it, where it's like, or at least the top floor of it, where it's like, I wasn't sure because it just felt like it was too much space, but I don't think it would have mattered if I added another section, because it just would have, A, made the build a little bit taller, and more like bulky, and B, it just would have made a slightly smaller roof, or actually the same size roof with the way I had it. But yeah. So then, what you want to do is you want to take the inner light gray concrete again, and this time you want to bring it back with 3 light gray concretes. And bring each light gray concrete left by 1, and then up by 2. Oh, that was an interesting way for that to work already. And then place a gray concrete on top of each one, and then extend it off either side by 1, either of the important sides, so the right side and the back. So now you want to come to the back of your build, and you want to be looking forward. As I've been doing recently, you want to orient it based off this direction. So that is the left side. That is the right side. So essentially it's flipped to a way that just is easier for me to explain and not get confused with. It's just more so you don't get confused with it, because it is a little bit weird. I didn't. Oh boy, that's dumb. Alright. You want to bring, so you have the 3 rows of light gray concrete. You want to bring the middle row right with 5 smooth quartz blocks each. And then 2 light gray concrete. Bring the light gray concrete this time towards you with 3 light gray concretes each. So it should give you this. It looks a little strange, but it's fine. And then you want to bring each gray concrete here, this little, like, 3x4. You want to bring it right with 5 gray concrete per block. Now, you're going to notice it's going to stop, which is what we want. And you do also want to bring it towards the front of the build with 2 additional rows of gray concrete. Just like that. Okay, I was just checking something. But yeah, this section is going to be brought up more, which we're not going to do it this very second. Yeah, we'll worry about that in a sec. You then want to take, okay, so this corner pillar here, the only light gray concrete pillar on the second floor, actually, as of right now. You want to bring the inner corner of this right with 6 black stained glass blocks. Actually, you want to do that with all 4 rows going up. I said actually very strangely, alrighty. Just like that. You then want to bring the bottom right-hand corner of this towards you with, what is the number? Hang on. 7 gray concrete. Just like that. You can also replace the black stained glass block there with the gray concrete. I'm going to. If you have a room there, I would actually, you could actually just remove it and do what you did at the front, but if you could, like, put a wall there or a desk or something, I don't know, to cover it up, because I don't think that's the greatest looking thing unless you, like, made it like a counter or something, which would be interesting. Like, maybe you have, like, a wall here, and then you have this, like, act as a counter or something. That'd be interesting. But yeah, then what you want to do is you want to bring this, whatever this thing is, 2x4 light gray concrete up with 1 additional row of light gray concrete for now. That's just going to make this next step easier. So you want to come to the second row moving forward, which is this one. And you want to bring the entire row of 4 right with 6 smooth quartz blocks. Then we're going to start to get floating here. You want to place then a row of gray concrete, and then 3 rows of black stained glass blocks. And then that's going to, not floating, but like, kind of just there. Just like that. You then want to bring your 2x4 light gray concrete up with an additional 4 rows of light gray concrete. And you actually, I don't know how I didn't realize this, I'm kind of blind. You actually want to take at least the top 3 rows, and you want to bring them back with an additional 3, at least on this left side. Or I guess bring them towards the front with an additional 3. Towards the front here. I know that, like, I do that really weird, but you get the point. Just like that. It kind of looks like a thumbs up. Thumbs up saying you're doing good. Then what you want to do is you want to take the smooth quartz, gray concrete, and black stained glass blocks, and you want to bring the entire thing right with 2 rows of light gray concrete, or 2, yeah, rows. No, columns. Wait. Yeah, 2 columns. You don't want to bring all that towards you a row. And then you want to bring this row of gray concrete. We're going to actually focus on this now. You want to bring it towards you by 2 rows and then extend it left to connect and also right by 2. So it should give you this. These look like garage doors to me. Am I the only one that's seeing that? It's... You could change it if you want. I thought about using oak originally, but I don't think that's going to fit your color scheme very well. You could use... I mean, you could use black stained glass blocks. I know that would look fine. You could use stone bricks. It depends on how you want your theme of your build to be, for what you would choose if you don't like the smooth quartz. But I think the smooth quartz looks good. I'm okay with it. Yeah. Anyways, then what you want to do is on this bottom right-hand corner of light gray concrete, you want to bring it towards you and diagonally to the right by 1 with a smooth quartz block. Bring that right by 4 and then away from you by 1. You don't want to bring each smooth quartz block up with 11 smooth quartz blocks. At least of this little, like, L shape. I don't know. It's a sideways L. You can wrap the gray concrete around this section. I didn't. I wouldn't. Although you can. I don't think it looked bad. Actually, let's see. How would that look? Ooh, that's interesting. I think I like that. Yeah, here, let's actually, we can compare them. Because the reason I'm saying you shouldn't is because it's kind of the dominant feature where it's like, okay, this essentially overrides what the rest of the build is following in that gray concrete strip. But also, like, it does look cool with it. I'm not sure, because it does break it up. It breaks up that big, like, rectangle, which those aren't typically the greatest things, which is also why you have the little row of, like, gray concrete over here on the left side. But yeah, it's up to you. And then you want to connect the top 2 rows of smooth quartz blocks together at the left side here of these 2 big boys. And then I think it's 3 rows on the right side. Yeah, the top 3 rows. And then also make sure that at the front part here, this part, you actually do fill in the square. It's like, you only have to go back 4 rows. Just like that. You then want to place a gray or actually you just want to, you can bring this section of gray concrete back by 24 with gray concrete, this entire little, like, rectangle. So it'll end up overhanging on every single side of the smooth quartz by 1, and it'll have a flat gray concrete roof. Now, what I am thinking now is, as I was complaining about the roof earlier, at least on this right section, you can add skylights. So, I'll talk about that. I'm actually going to fill in the roof completely first, and then I'll show you what I mean. But essentially just like little black stained glass block thingies that give you light from the sky. Yeah, just like that. We're almost done now. So what you want to do is you want to place a gray concrete on top of every single light gray concrete. Actually, just place it on top of every single block for now. Why not? I was going to do light gray concrete and then do something weird, but no, I'm just going to do it this way, whatever. So you kind of have a ridged effect, which we don't want. So what you want to do is each light gray concrete above, or each gray concrete above the light gray concrete, you want to overhang by 1, or extend on every single side by outward on every single side by 1, and then the ones above the black stained glass blocks you want to extend outward by 2 rows. So it's gonna give you a fairly flat, or not flat roof. It is very flat. It's gonna give you a fairly rectangular shape. Minus this little divot here. Oopsies, I did that wrong. And make sure that you do not do what I almost did there, and don't get them confused. But yeah, it should look like this. And then you can see it overhangs just so it basically goes past the light gray concrete. And it has, like, straight lines and no ridges or anything. I mean, you could try the ridges. I just don't think they'd be ideal. But it's up to you. And then what you want to do is you want to fill in this middle center roof in with gray concrete, unless you want to do the skylights, which I will show you. You've got a lot of space inside to play with, so you could also add one on the slanted roof. I actually think that'd be really cool. Although I don't know, I don't really skylight. I don't build them. I only build from time to time, you know, not that much. I really would like to know how many hours I have in this world. I really would like to know that. That would be very interesting. Because I've never gone AFK in this world. I mean, I've been, like, kind of sitting on my phone doing stuff, but I've never been, like, AFK for, like, an hour or something. I don't think I've ever been AFK on a Minecraft world for an hour, actually. I'm rarely AFK on anything in general. Moving on from that, there you go. So, again, if you want to add skylights, I would just, like, punch out, like, let's say you want it to be a 3x2, which I think is fair. And you just place black stained glass blocks. You could, like, deep slate tile slabs around it or something. And maybe even have it up an additional row instead. Like that. And then you can also see that from, definitely not ground level, but it's up to you how you want to play with them, if you want to even add them. Yeah. But I wouldn't do that specific one. I would probably do, like, a different, like, smooth quartz slabs or something instead of deep slate tiles if you do it that way. Because the deep slate tile does not look good with the gray concrete, in my opinion, at least in that set. I mean, we have the deep slate tile over here, but that has enough of a difference where it's like, it's not close enough to it to where it matters, essentially. Like, they're not, like, touching like that. I don't know. But I mean, you could change all the gray concrete to deep slate tile if you wanted, or you could turn that to full blocks. That's also an option. But, yeah, I think the slabs look better. But once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your modern house, the 87th installment, I think, complete. I don't know why I stuttered so much there. But yeah, I think that's all. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.